I supposed to do with that?
I don't know. Feed it to the gimp. Eases pain. I don't know what that is.
What do you mean you don't know? Shut up.
I don't know. I got thrown this job by some lawyer.
Yeah? Who?
I don't know. Some limey. He's a middleman for somebody, okay? He doesn't say, I don't ask.
You're fucking full of shit.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Listen to me. We want to meet him, okay?
That's funny. Called me last night. He says he wants to meet you guys.
Okay. We'll meet him.
I'll call you.
Good. Do that. No problem.
I don't like it, Dean. I don't like it. Wait a minute. One more thing, tough guy. Any more surprises, and I'm gonna kill you.
Such a tough guy, McManus. But do me a favor, right? Get the fuck off my dick.
No. No.
Put a leash on that puppy. You know, it's an awful shame about Saul getting whacked. Cops are gonna be looking for the guys who did it. Sooner or later, they're gonna come around asking me. You have a sweet night, ladies.
Fuck you.
So this lawyer
Kobayashi.
came from Redford.
Right.
And why leave this out when you talk to the DA?
Dave, someone to see you.
Jack.
Been looking all over for you. Still after that coke that took a walk out of that bloodbath in the harbor yesterday?
Yeah.
Well, you can stop looking. There was no coke. I've been in L.A. County talking to a guy they pulled out of a drain pipe in San Pedro yesterday after the shootout. I came to this morning, he started talking. He's part of a Hungarian mob there to do a deal with a bunch of Guats from Argentina, and he says there's definitely not a dope deal.
But the 91
Yeah,
million.
we know, but our man says no way on the dope. This Hungarian tells me the whole bunch was pulling stumps for Turkey the next day. They had no time to negotiate that kind of product and no means to move it.
What's the money for?
Well, he didn't know. No one doing the deal knew except for a few key people. They were all very hush about it, he says. Whatever it was very sensitive.
I don't get it.
Tell me you got the cripple in there from New York.
Yeah.
Did he mention Kaiser Soze?
Who?
Just bear with me here.
Who's Kaiser Sose?
Oh, fuck.
We've been going over this for an hour and a half. What we need to do is find Redfoot Keaton
Listen.
and get the hell out of here now.
What we need to do is think. Think back. Somebody with power. Somebody who was capable of tracking us from New York to Los Angeles.
Come on, Dean. What the hell are we doing here?
We're waiting.
Lie now.
Sit down.
No. It's hot and I'm fucking bored.
Mr. Hockney, do stay. Mr. Keaton. Mr. Fenster, I recognize from his mug shots, as well as Mr. McManus. I can only assume that you are Mr. Kint, the gentleman who disposed of Saul Berg. My employer sends his gratitude, a most unexpected benefit. I am Mr. Kobayashi. I have been asked by my employer to bring a proposal to you, gentlemen.
What do you want?
My employer requires your services, gentlemen. One job, 1 day's work. Very dangerous. He does not expect all of you to live, but those of you who do will have $91 million to divide between you in any way you see fit.
Who's your boss?
I work for Kaiser Soze.
Who's Kaiser Soze?
Judging by the sudden change in mood, Mr. Kint, I feel sure the rest of your associates can tell you. I come with an offer directly from Mr. Soze. An order, actually.
What do you mean, an order?
In 1981, Mr. Keaton, you participated in the hijacking of a truck in Buffalo, New York. The cargo was raw steel, steel which belonged to Mr. Soze and which was destined for Pakistan to be used in a nuclear reactor. A most profitable violation of UN regulations. You had no way of knowing this, Mr. Keaton, because the fellow shipping the steel was working for Mr. Soze without his knowledge. Earlier this year, Mr. Fenster and Mr. McManus hijacked a two-prop cargo flight out of Newark Airport. The plane was carrying gold and platinum wiring, also set for Pakistan. 2 months ago, Mr. Hockney stole a truck carrying gun parts through Queens. gun parts which were said to be destroyed by the state of New York. They were to be lost in a way station and rerouted to Belfast. Again, Mr. Sauzet using pawns who had no knowledge. Which brings us to Mr. Kint. 9 months ago, one of Mr. Sauzet's less than intelligent couriers was taken in a complicated confidence scam by a cripple. He was relieved of $62,000. Now, it has taken us some time to find you. Our intention was to approach you after your apprehension in New York.
You set up the lineup.
Yes. You were not to be released until I had come to see you. It seems Mr. Keaton's attorney, Miss Finneran, was a little too effective in expediting his release. Holding the rest of you became a moot point.
What about Redfoot?
Mr. Redfoot knew nothing. Mr. Sauzet rarely works with the same people for very long, and they never know who they're working for. One cannot be betrayed if one has no people.
So, why are you telling us?
Because you have stolen from Mr. Sauzet, Mr. Fenster. All of you. That you did not know you stole from him is the only reason you are still alive. He feels you owe him. You will repay your debt.
All right, fuck the debt. And fuck you. How do we know you work for Sauzet?
I don't think that is very relevant, Mr. Hockney. All 5 of you are responsible for the murder of Saul Berg and his bodyguards. And Mr. Redfoot can testify to your involvement, and we can see to it that he will.
What's your point?
The offer is this, gentlemen. Mr. Sauzet's primary interest is narcotics. He has been competing, shall we say, with a group of Argentinians for several years now. Competing with Mr. Sauzet has taken its toll. These Argentinians are negotiating the sale of $91 million in cocaine in 3 days' time. Needless to say, this purchase will revitalize the diminishing strength of their organization. Mr. Sauzet would like you to stop the deal. If you choose, you may wait until after the buy. Whatever money changes hands is yours. Mr. Sauzet would like you to get to the boat and destroy the cocaine on board. And then you will be free of your obligations to Mr. Sauzet.
You give me one good reason why I shouldn't kill you right now.
A gift from Mr. Sauzet. Good day, gentlemen.
You got my whole life in here, everything I've ever done since I was 18.
They fucking know everything.
Everybody I've ever worked with or did time with.
This isn't right.
I don't know. Who's that guy who used to talk about Sauzet in New York?
Bricks Marlin.
Yeah, he did jobs for him. Indirect stuff. And he said he always made 5 times more money than the job was worth.
This guy's a pipe dream. Kobayashi's using him for window dressing.
I don't know. This is bad.
Nah, it's bullshit. This guy could be LAPD. It's a fucking setup.
The way I hear it, Sauzet, some kind of butcher. A peerless, psycho, fucked up butcher.
There is no Kaiser Sauzet.